Hi, how you doing? I'm just doing up a video to describe in more detail some of the things that I've been saying, some of the dreams and all those sorts of things which I had. I had dreams about the Russian conflict which has just come up, and one of those dreams was talking about things in Ukraine. Um, so I want to basically try to put it all in order and make it a little bit more orderly, maybe have some slides and things this time, just make it a little bit nicer. So we'll go to our first slide. Basically, I had some Russian dreams where God sent me dreams saying that when I saw um, a Russian invasion of a country, that I would know that the end times were coming, or that it was coming into the end times. So basically, my first dream, I need to just say something here. Well, not my first dream. This was about the second or third dream. But basically, in this dream, these particular things had come to pass in the dream. There were people fleeing the Russian invasion. There was a shortage of food and weapons. The time of the invasion was at a sporting event. I've got here the Winter Olympics, and the men were being separated from the women. So all of those things occurred in my dream, and I'm just going to briefly describe that dream. Basically, what I saw was I first saw a really dark, or it was night time, and there were people running or walking to get away from the Russian army. And I saw a shop in the distance, and I thought to myself, I need to get food and weapons. And I tried to, when I got to the shop, there didn't appear to be any food or weapons there. It then went to a picture of two Australian athletes, and I saw a bloodied flag, and Russian civilians were rejoicing over a war or war victory, or they seemed to be happy, not happy, but they were, you knew there was a war going on. And so where the correlation for that is, it was at the time of the Winter Olympics that this invasion occurred. So we see that God has also given the time when it happened, which was at the time of the sporting event. And in my dream, I saw men and women being separated, that I was in the dream and I could tell that my family was being sent off and I had to be left behind. I've had other dreams. One of them was, this was my first dream that I had about the Russian war. I just saw these Russian fighting vehicles, and Jesus said, this is right on you now, it's going to happen. And I had a feeling that Jesus was coming soon when this happened, that it was like an end times warning, that God was saying, hey, or he definitely said this Russian thing is going to happen. And I had the feeling that it was coming into the end times. So there's a verse in Revelation 6:4, and says, another horse, fiery red, went out and was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth. The people should kill one another, and was given him a great sword. So war is the prelude to, it's one of the first things that happens when the end times are coming up. There's a lady, and she was, oh, it looks like my slides all over, wonky all over the place, but anyway, I'll just describe what she said. She had a prophecy in 1968, and all of the stuff which she said in her prophecy has pretty well come to pass, talking about TV stations being created and sex scenes being on TV and all that sort of thing. But in the end of her prophecy, she said that it would all be child's play compared to what would happen at the end of the war, the Third World War. She said she saw a Third World War, and she said at the end of that Third World War, nuclear weapons would be used, and they would basically hit America, Japan, Australia, and the wealthy nations, and the water would be ruined or contaminated, and you'd no longer be able to live in those places, and the people in those countries that were left would have to flee to the poorer countries. Now, if you have a look in Revelation 8, 7, 11, it's hard to read here, but basically that mirrors what happens in Revelation 8, 7 to 11, that there's a big fiery thing sent down to the earth and it pollutes the water. And that's what she said in her prophecy, that the water would be ruined, that the land would be ruined, contaminated through that nuclear explosion, and people would have to leave. So it says here that in Revelation, it says a great star like a torch fell on a third of the rivers and the springs of water, and they became wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and men died from the water that was made bitter. So that was what she was saying there in that nuclear exchange. Now, I had another dream, and in this dream, I saw what appeared to be aliens coming to Earth. Now, that will seem really strange. I mean, why would there be aliens coming to Earth? Well, it's not actually aliens. If you read in Revelation 12, it says, so the great dragon was cast out, the serpent of old called the devil, Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels with him, and he was cast out. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows his time is short. If you go forward to Revelation 13, where the beast is revealed, you will see that the devil is mentioned being there with him as the dragon. The dragon is mentioned in Revelation 13, that the dragon is there on the earth. He's giving authority to certain beasts. Now, whether those beasts are human people, or whether they are that come out of kingdoms, or whether they are actually demonic entities, we don't know, because the actual one that we know as the beast, or we've known as the beast who gives the mark 666, he makes an image of one of the previous beasts. Now, this image, people have to worship it. Now, that image is obviously not a country, it's not a nation, so the beasts we're talking about here are physical beasts, most likely demonic entities. So that's where we'll leave it. Actually, I might just describe my dream. In my dream, I saw a war with Russia. I saw a really evil man in front of that army, or with the army, and he was a man with a beard, and he had sewn the breast of a woman to himself. He was seen as being a rapist or a murderer in the dream. I could see myself facing up against these things, and then I saw what appeared to be an alien invasion of Earth, or aliens came down to Earth, and they were seen to have some sort of battle, or something went on, and then they were deceiving people, and when they deceived people, the people basically became like zombies, or phased out, became really weird. So, or they was tormented and almost zombie-like, I guess you'd say. Now, I've been at church last week, and I shared one of the dreams, not the alien one, because I thought people wouldn't be able to handle that, but I shared some of the other dreams, and they mentioned that they'd had dreams about missiles and things like that, and one had things which I believe was talking about air pollution after the missiles, and another guy saw this zombie-like state, which I'd seen in my dreams. So some of these things are possibly coming to pass. I don't know exactly how or when, but that's basically